So today I just wanted to reflect on some things that I think Americans might find frustrating if they just jumped right into Europe. If they just found themselves landed here all of a sudden. Superficially, you might look at Europe and America and go, those are both two pretty Western cultures. They would coincide and lifestyles would be similar, but no, they're not. Before we get into that, with Halloween right around the corner, I thought it might be fun if we check out some of Raid's best Halloween champions. I will be ranking the following champions based solely on spoopiness, and yes, I said spoopiness. In bronze position, we have the legendary champion Siffy, the lost bride, because for many reasons, weddings can be scary. It's supposed to be the most beautiful day of her life, but look at her. Does she look happy to you? Coming in the penultimate spoopy place is epic champion, the masked fearmonger. I always say what you can't see is way scarier than the reality right in front of your face, but maybe I was wrong, because the spookiest spook is legendary champion Harvest Jack, who has a pumpkin for a head. The variety of champions is definitely what I like best about the game. This month, Raid's got a non-stop schedule of special events and activities, including an absolutely jam-packed Halloween lineup toward the end of the month. And if you want an even bigger head start, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan the QR code right here. New players will get an epic hero Chunaroo, who is amazing in the Doom Tower, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in the game. You'll find your rewards right here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. And it's that easy. Thank you, Raid, as ever, for being one of the strong supporters of this channel. On with the video. Okay, the first thing that I think would really frustrate Americans about Europe is we don't always have tumble dryers. We don't have dryers in our houses or apartments. Yes, some people do. For example, people who buy their home, or people like my parents who've had their home a really long time and they can afford such luxuries as a dryer. But for us, meager renters and people who are just in smaller housing altogether, running a dryer in Europe is a very expensive thing. Even then, when some people do have dryers, they usually have a combination washer dryer. I have not had a dryer in my last 2 houses. I did have a dryer that was also the washing machine in my house 2 houses ago. But I think this goes hand in hand with, as well as the electricity prices making it really expensive to run one, we have much smaller places where you guys would have a whole room devoted to your washer dryer. We just kind of fit it under the kitchen counter. We have smaller properties, so less things can go in them. On that note, fridges and freezers are generally smaller, which I think a lot of Americans would find frustrating. Whenever I show off what's in my fridge, you guys laugh at me. Yeah, I don't do a lot of cooking, and when I do, it's very basic. Butter, water, Coke, eggs, pasta sauce, ready meals, Coke, what are they called? Jam, ketchup, more Coke, milk, chocolate, and we're back to butter. Freezer, ice cream, cheese, some vegetables, more cheese, ready meals, more ready meals, more nuggets, breads, and ice cubes. But again, most of us have just very small freezers and very small fridges compared to Americans. In America, a lot of you guys will have a whole extra freezer in your basement just to store stuff for the apocalypse, which isn't a bad idea, let's be fair. Actually, my mom has a second freezer because, you know, she feeds the whole family when we're over, so she's kind of an exception to the rule. But for most of us, we will just have that little box in the top of our fridges, or we'll have at most what I have now, which is a second freezer that is the size of your fridge, which is not that big at all, really. The next one, yes, I've referred to it on other lists, but I cannot make this list without referencing the fact that you will not have as much choice of things as you do in America. We just don't have every single thing in every single place. You'll find yourself needing to go to second stores if you want something. For example, I go to 2 different supermarkets to get my general shop. And that's not uncommon. I know a lot of people who do that. They just don't have all the products you want in one store. Generally, you'll make do with 1 store, but if you want your really good shop, you'll go to 2 stores. And the next thing that you guys will find frustrating is the no plugs in the bathroom. And I can say that you will find this frustrating because in Spain here, I have a plug in the bathroom. It's crazy. I don't know how I will ever go back to not being able to style my hair in the bathroom. But in most parts of Europe, Ireland, the UK and other parts, You do not have electricity in your bathroom bar shavers, which are like very specific plug holes. As well as it being to do with like different grounding, which some of you guys have explained to me, it's also the fact that it's just illegal to have water around electricity. Things are a lot more lax here in Spain, so apparently it's okay, but here in Spain, yes, it's really handy being able to do your hair in the bathroom. Dangerous, but handy. The next thing that would absolutely frustrate Americans if they came here to Europe is everything takes a lot longer. In America, you have systems nailed down. That's usually because most things are part of a franchise or belong to a different, bigger company. Everything is within something bigger. Whereas here, there's a lot more mom and pop shops, a lot more independent businesses, and also people just go slower in different parts of Europe. Spain is a good example where things move very slowly. Also, Italy, things are very much in their own time. France, people go a little bit faster, but at the same time, it's very much when it suits them. And in Ireland, you really do have to have the banter in order to get what you want. And if you don't do the banter, then somebody might just choose to be a dick to you and not give you the thing you want for another 3 days. The next thing would definitely frustrate Americans if they're just visiting and then they have to go back to America. It's the fact that our healthcare and prescriptions are so much cheaper in Europe. Yes, a lot of us do have private insurance here. For example, I recently bought mine. It came in at $2,500, but you have to bear in mind, I have pre-existing conditions, like I had skin cancer, and that drives my premium up. However, if I was prepared to wait, there are a lot of things that are covered on the national healthcare system.
Waiting here till I die.
And if you live in the UK, you've probably heard everything is free on the NHS. And not just that, but drugs are way cheaper in Europe than they are in America. And I don't fully understand the reasoning for this, so if you happen to know, let me know below in comments. Recently, I purchased a prescription for myself here in Spain, which was €8. And I was told in the pharmacy that if I was buying it in America, it would be €150. Last year I had a small procedure which was not covered by my insurance and it cost me €150, but I was told were I in America, it would have cost me €750. I don't fully understand the why of it, but it's definitely interesting to look at. The next thing that would be way frustrating for Americans visiting Europe is the fact that we don't have blocks, so it's way harder to take and give directions to anywhere. In America, you literally go, all you need to do is go 8 blocks, take a left, 2 blocks up, you take a right, and you'll be there. Here in Europe, there are no blocks. Everything is just intertwined, and it's more like referencing shops and take a left at this landmark and stuff like that. It's way more confusing. Thank God we are in the dawn of Google Maps, because I just couldn't cope. I could not cope without Google Maps. The next thing you might find frustrating if you're visiting Europe is we don't really do tabs in most of Europe. You can ask for one, but you'll definitely be kind of looked at like, oh, you're inconveniencing the bar or restaurant because they just don't do tabs. Generally speaking, you will pay for your round as you get it, and that is the done thing. Having a tab is just kind of seen as giving a responsibility on the bar owner or the person working in the bar that they just don't need. You're kind of giving them a headache that they don't want. Sure, if you're having some kind of corporate event and you're supplying alcohol to a bunch of people, they'll have a tab for you because you've got like 20 plus people there that night, and they'll usually have like, you know, tickets so they get this many drinks. But an open tab is not really a thing that we do in any part of Europe except under very special circumstances. The next thing I think Americans would really struggle with and find exceptionally frustrating is that in a lot of parts of Europe we don't say what we mean. There is one exception for this. Okay, let's say I've just gone to a hairdresser's, they've scalped me, I absolutely hate my haircut and I'm Irish. This would be my response. Oh yeah, no, it's lovely. Yeah, no, I wanted it a good bit shorter than I asked you for. Yeah, it's great how you knew that. Thanks so much. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, say hi to your mom for me. The Spanish are similar, the French, but there is one exception, like I said, and that is the Germans. The Germans will tell it like it is. What have you done to my hair? It looks terrible. I do not want it this short. I will never come back here again. And in that way, they're kind of similar to Americans, because Americans, we'll just ask to see the manager or whatever, right?
I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
I'm not saying you're in the wrong, you're actually right. I mean, in Ireland, we'll bitch about the fact after. I do think Americans would have a tough time navigating reading between the lines in a lot of European countries, except for Germany. And finally, the number one thing that I think Americans would find really frustrating about coming to Europe is that we take great pride in coming somewhere in the Olympics, even if it's a bronze medal. We celebrate that. In America, you guys really like coming first. And it's kind of like, oh, we came third. You guys just take coming third for granted. I saw it on a lot of the Olympic sports.
Everyone knows second place is first loser.
For us, particularly in smaller countries like Ireland, coming third is a huge deal, a national celebration, whereas not so much there. And I think Americans with their winning spirit would find our celebrating the lesser titles a little bit frustrating. But let me know how you feel about it below in the comments. That's it for today. See you guys on the other side. Bye.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime girl.
But basically, but I think this goes hand in hand with the fact that as well as the electricity price, but I think this goes hand in hand with the fact that as well are you a teddy bear? Teddy bear? The roof is on fire. We don't need no money to make the fire higher. I can do whatever I want with you, because you're so little.